Hello everyone. Mic issues appear to have struck again, so hopefully next time these will be fixed. Now, on to our reading. From Lord Arthur Saville's Crime by Oscar Wilde. The world is a stage, but the play is badly cast.
Welcome back to the Reading Room Ruffians, your favorite library podcast. We have Danny with Spirit Walk Paranormal back today. Hey, Danny, welcome back. Ooh.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
It's me, Bloody Mary, joined by my BFF, the Bell Witch.
Ding dong, I can see you sleeping.
We are recording from our library in Jackson County, West Virginia. Casper, the sassy ghost, is joining us from Seattle, Washington.
Witch, please, you got me up how early for this?
Our Supreme Overlord Carla is out on a field trip, rude of her, so she's missing Danny again. Don't take it personally. She was very upset to miss you again.
That's a lie.
That's a big old boo.
But
Before we get to it, you can find our Facebook group by searching Reading Room Ruffians Podcast, which is linked to our library's Facebook page at facebook.com/Jackson County Library WV. You should give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram at WVJCO Library and give our podcast Goodreads page a look, which we have linked in our episode description along with our personal Goodreads pages. Danny, go ahead and hit us up with your socials and shameless plugs, and then we'll move on to haunting.
Well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spirit Walk Paranormal, where we post all of our paranormal investigations. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on all the socials at Spirit Walk Paranormal. For exclusive content, you can go to patreon.com/Spirit Walk Paranormal. And if you want to grab yourself some merch, that's going to be at spiritwalkparanormal.bigcartel.com. You can get the new Spirit Zone t-shirt, which I am rocking today. And sad you guys can't see it, but if you head over to that website, you can pick up some of your merch today.
Nice.
Oh, also, we had a brand new episode come out on our YouTube channel on October 18th. That is Bel Air Village of Shadows, and I'm sure everyone will love it.
Yeah, we saw the trailer and whew, spooky. Yeah, it was good. It looked really good.
I'm going to have Zach watch it.
totally.
Later.
I'm excited. I did watch a couple episodes this week, actually, just to get caught up a little bit.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
My man. I love that.
My mom and I have been watching.
I
It's
haven't
fun.
watched anything.
You guys are the best. No, you just sit in terror the entire time.
I've been busy. I've started school this semester, so I am like swamped with homework.
I saw you peering over at the trailer, and you just looked like you were
It was
not
spooky.
having it.
She's also not scared by like anything. She reads horrifying
I read
books.
Communion. I read the book Communion, and it didn't scare me.
It's about aliens.
And I really thought it
Oh,
would.
that's good.
That's why I picked it, because I was like, I want to be scared, but no. So we talked all about aliens last week. And
Was that a fictional book?
No, it's nonfiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's about
nonfiction.
this
Love
guy
that.
who had been abducted.
Zach with air quotes.
Nonfiction, yeah.
Nonfiction.
It's about this dude who was abducted, and he starts remembering it, and then he goes under hypnosis and to get his memories back, and he interviews a bunch of different people, and like his son was starting to be visited by aliens, and like it was a lot, but it wasn't scary.
I think I know exactly what this is, but I'm gonna have to order that and actually read it.
The writing, I started actually. The writing is a little dry, but it's not too bad actually. It goes by quick.
I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with long slogs of books about aliens.
Fair.
It's good, especially his hypnosis things, but like when it gets to the end and he's talking about all the research and stuff that he's done for it, that was like a slog.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is Whitley Strieber?
Strieber, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely get this book and read it. This is I've heard about this before. I just haven't read it yet. But it is
which
spooky
is why we
season.
picked
Yes.
It is
Yep.
spooky season.
All of my spooky season picks have been duds.
They kind of were.
It's a bummer.
Oh, well.
It's a bummer for you, not for me. Go ahead.
Well, I don't have a dud for you guys. I have a book recommendation for those who are into the paranormal and want to follow along with one of probably one of the largest
Okay,
phenomenon
what is
cases ever.
Give it to us.
My recommendation for you guys is John Keel's The Mothman Prophecies.
Oh.
I heard I shouldn't read that because it was dumb.
Wait, what? No.
It was dumb.
It wasn't dumb.
That's what I've heard. I love Mothman, though.
No, I think last time you talked about, at least briefly, the Mothman Prophecies. Didn't you say there was another Mothman book that was
Better.
also good?
There was Gray Barker's book called The Silver Bridge, which was
I think that's the other one you recommended last time.
It's about 5 years earlier. So I would definitely check out Gray Barker's book. But John Keel's is more analytical. It's more, boots on the ground investigating. And John Keel kind of takes a shot at Gray Barker, calling his book a celestial fantasy there at the end.
Yeah, because
celestial
that was
fantasy.
the thing I said I was from now on. I was going to be referred to as a celestial fantasy.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
which
remember
you'll
that now.
probably you'll probably like Gray Barker's book more. But since we're in the spirit, I have a couple others.
We love
And
it.
these are some shorter reads. The first one is Monsters of West Virginia by Rosemary
Ooh.
Ellen Guiley. This dives into all of the, ultra-dimensional, ultra-terrestrial, and the cryptids of West Virginia. It's a short book. It's a little over 120 some pages long. Highly recommend it to anyone out there who's just looking to further their knowledge on what kind of creatures that we do have here in our beautiful state. Definitely recommend checking that one out.
It's a good recommendation, especially right after we did the cryptids episode a couple weeks back, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Any specific ones that stuck out to you
Perfect.
guys?
West
did a
Virginia.
lot.
Yeah, we did mostly West Virginia cryptids.
We did the West Virginia cryptid.
Yeah, and that was
Sheep Squatch was my favorite.
Zach's sheep squatch impression.
Oh my gosh. That
Perfect.
was hilarious.
It was
That was
bad.
actually, I think, the
It was
one
bad.
that released last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
That one
believe
was
so.
released last week.
For them, for those listening, it'll be a couple weeks behind though. So that'll be our Chubby Juby episode.
Yep. Chubby Jubies.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny one. That was
Very
a personal
funny.
story from my childhood with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheep Squatch is fun. Braxton County Monster is weird. It's one of the weirdest ones I've heard of, just as a cryptid.
Yeah, the Flatwoods Monster.
And that was
Super interesting
The
story
smiling
they had.
man is the weirdest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's just come to dinner. That's no big deal.
Oh, with Injured Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even do that
Yeah.
with real people.
Mm-mm.
I ain't gonna do it with an alien.
Mm-mm.
No way.
Not one that smiles that much.
No. And you know what? And people smiling that much are weird to begin with.
So you guys discussed
Don't
Injured
stop.
Cold.
Stop it.
Only very briefly.
Yeah.
Only very briefly.
Okay, so
Yeah, I didn't like it.
So I don't know what the whole thing is with the quote unquote smiling man ordeal. So you know about Woodrow Derenberger and how that whole interaction went down with Injured Cold, right?
Yeah.
The basic overarching story, yes. but
Okay.
Not details. We know about how he landed and Injured Cold landed in his kerosene lamp looking
Spaceship.
spaceship, and how they had a relationship for I don't know,
It was years.
until he
Which is
died.
weird.
It was years. And yeah,
That was the weird
And no
thing.
pictures.
So
Yeah.
Injured, he I don't necessarily think that he was like a bad person. And from the way that Woodrow tells his story, it seems like Injured Cold was just a family man. He had a wife and 2 kids on his home planet of Lanulos, and he just came here to West Virginia and made contact. If people want
Which
to,
is the weirdest thing.
no, I want a friendly alien to telepathically communicate with me on the side of a road one day. Just
I mean, it would be pretty fun.
No.
just give me
He's not wrong.
a hey.
I'm fine.
So if you guys want, I don't know if you guys know about this, but Woodrow Derenberger wrote a book.
Oh yeah, we did. I think you looked it up.
Did I?
Yeah.
Visitors
So were you
from
saying,
Lanulos.
oh, he read a book.
Yeah, Visitors from Lanulos. I do remember hearing about this. Actually, fun synchronicity thing. Right after we talked about this, another podcast I listened to started doing a deep dive thing into Injured Cold.
No kidding.
Yep, kind of wild.
What was the podcast? Because I would like to listen to that.
It is the Chilluminati podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my god. Listen to this. Okay, so I looked up that book on Goodreads, and this is the very first comment on it, right? He gave it 2 stars, and he says, semi-nudist Christian space hippie communist visits a man in West Virginia. The 60s were wild times.
I will say that was probably my favorite thing I said during the podcast was that acid hits hard.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. That's probably one of the funniest comments I've ever heard. For our book readers out there, I have 2 more recommendations. This is a twofer because it's a 2-for-1er. You guys familiar with the author Ruth Ann Music?
No.
Well, let me tell you about our wonderful West Virginia native Ruth Ann Music, who has her own library dedicated to her at Fairmont State University. So Ruth Ann Music spent quite some time documenting hundreds of folklore, ghost stories, and other tales surrounding West Virginia. And she wrote this wonderful book, The Telltale Lilac Bush.
Oh, yeah.
I've read that one, yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is whenever I Twitch on Tuesday nights from 9 to 11, at some point I do like to put on some creepy music in the background and read from The Telltale Lilac Bush. But some people don't know that she's written a few books, and one of my other favorite books to read is from a book called Coffin Hollow and Other Ghost Tales.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep, I read that one too.
For anyone out there listening who is into short stories, into folklore and things like that, I definitely recommend those 2 books by Ruth Ann Music.
And I think that we actually have both of those. Go ahead.
Do you have them at the library?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, pick them up for spooky season, guys.
Go down to
I
the
think I
Jackson
read those
County
in middle
Library,
school.
pick up some good reads, get a little campfire going.
I also read Scary Stories Not to Tell in the Dark in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also have that collection.
That was my vibe back then.
Nope.
That's still my vibe.
So
I didn't
it's
read
funny.
Goosebumps.
It's funny that you mentioned this. I was talking about that series yesterday, and do you guys remember the short story about the woman who had the ribbon around her neck?
Yes, I do actually remember that one.
Something happens in the story, but she always wears this ribbon around her neck, and she I'm pretty sure she marries this fella, and they live their entire life, but he's not allowed to touch the ribbon around her neck, and something happens, and then the ribbon is pulled off her neck, and then her head falls off.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember what book that was from? Because I can't remember if it was. I don't think it was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but I
don't know where I heard that.
Because
I didn't watch or read really anything scary. I've always been a baby.
Oh, well, I mean, there's that one, and then there was a short story series or a series of short stories.
Okay,
The Yellow Wallpaper?
It the Green Ribbon?
The Green Ribbon.
That's one I want to read.
Yeah.
Green Ribbon.
Okay, it's from In a Dark, Dark Room and Other Scary Stories.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember this cover actually of this book
You're
now that I'm
welcome.
seeing it.
thank you.
How do I know it?
It's my librarian powers.
No, I know, but how do I know it? Like how?
Oh, I don't
that's
know.
yeah,
It was just like a childhood story. Like,
yeah.
we may have even read it in grade school because it wasn't like that terrifying, but it was enough to like give you, the heebie-jeebies a little bit growing up. It wasn't that scary of a story. It's kind of like a Goosebumps kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But yeah, the Yellow Wallpaper. Now that also crazy collection of stories. And it's about a woman dealing with mental illness in a insane asylum psych ward. And
That's one I want to read. That is on my TBR.
so Zach, I have a question for you, man. Have you had any experiences, or have you started being like hyper aware, noticing things?
I have been trying. I've still had no experiences.
What a liar.
We need to get you into a place to where things might happen.
Yeah, it's not much can really happen, I will admit, when I stay most of the time in this room.
Yeah. He has it cleansed.
Yeah, I have this place cleansed. I've got the cats here,
We need to get him a haunted doll and just send it to him.
Oh,
You can buy those
haunted,
on eBay.
haunted eBay dolls.
Yeah.
Just, mail order right to him.
Yeah, I don't have to mess with it, nothing. I just order it and ship it to him.
Send it here, please.
And then you could stick it on your desk right behind you so then we could watch it during our podcast
Ooh,
recordings.
no.
And then if it moves, we'll see it.
No.
That's a great idea. You should
Listen,
totally do that.
I vote no on that.
I don't know if I
Okay.
like this idea.
Yes, on that.
He has this super
I'm
clean
scared for
space,
him.
and then in the background on his desk, it's just this decrepit, peeling face doll or
Just, like,
something.
starts- yeah.
Head,
It's
I
only
set it
got
up there
one
every
eye.
single
Yeah.
Ugh.
we'll have to get him a 24-hour night surveillance footage camera just DVR running the entire time. If it, slightly moves, it would be the absolute best.
Oh my gosh. I've watched so many people who buy haunted dolls to see if, they're actually haunted or whatnot. And there's this one lady, she has 2 haunted dolls that sit right beside each other. And they both started rocking back and forth at the same time. And she was like, what are y'all doing? And one stops and the other one keeps going. Like, so it was weird.
Ma'am.
It was like, oh, I got caught.
Yeah.
And like,
and the other was like, I don't
Let's
care.
just keep doing
Andy's coming.
Yeah, out of all the
God.
like haunted things that you could have, haunted dolls freak me out the most.
Yeah.
Because they're just creepy looking.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dolls.
My mom, Henry, had a bunch of porcelain dolls in her house. You remember that, Zach?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hated spending
They're
the
very
night
creepy.
there because she had this like one little baby that laid on its stomach on the floor. She kept it on the floor. And like it was like tummy time, had its arms up and its little feet kicked up. I thought that thing is going to crawl over to this bed and eat my freaking ankles when I stand up in the morning. I just could tell that was going to happen. The thing freaked me out.
So I had this mirror. Well, it was my parents. My parents had this mirror in a house. And I must have been like 4 or 5. And this mirror had like screen printed like ducks flying. Like it was just a silhouette of some ducks flying. And I don't know if this is just like my imagination or whatever, but it was thunderstorming one night. And I don't know the sensation or if there's like a technical term for it, but I would just see these ducks just come off of the mirror. It was just it was the weirdest thing. And I've never really told anybody this. Like I've told a couple people, but I don't know if it was, my brain playing tricks on me or if this mirror was just haunted. Like, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that before, but it's like a memory from childhood that has like stuck with me.
That's a strange one.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like everyone was like,
Ducks flying off a mirror.
yeah, just silhouettes. And it was like they had peeled themselves off and it was just them flying around the room. Maybe it was like my active
That sounds
imagination
horrid.
as a child. I'm not sure, but it was definitely one thing that stuck with me. And I'm glad that mirror no longer exists.
I threw away a mirror once in the apartment that I lived in. It was like a mirror that they had. The apartment complex, it was their mirror.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I threw it in the dumpster. It was at the top of my stairs. Like you walk up your stairs and it's right there. And then my bedroom was like right beside it. And I hated that freaking mirror. And every time like I was on the stairs, I felt like something was watching me and I would hear like little kids giggle and stuff like that. No, I hated it. That thing came off the wall and went in the dumpster outside. I was like, no.
Mirrors are just portals to the, they're just reflections, but sometimes those reflections can do things that we don't notice.
Yeah, that's why they say not to have a TV facing you when you sleep.
I don't have a TV in my room.
Why not?
Why?
Because the reflection of it when it's black, it works like a mirror.
Well,
It's the whole Black Mirror thing.
well, thank goodness that my TV is on when I go to sleep. Because I was like, well,
There you go.
I was like, why else have a TV in the bedroom?
Mine is, I use the black screen rain sounds in mine, and it faces my bed.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Because I
No, you're
can't
done
sleep
for.
I can't sleep with the light from the TV, so I do black screen, but then I also have rain sounds. But I mean, there's like stuff in my house already. So, I mean, what's one more?
Maybe it's coming from the TV anyway.
Yeah, poltergeist style, just hands coming through the TV.
Dude, I have the little tiny terrors in my house anyways. I don't think I'd notice.
Probably.
Genuinely, I don't think so.
So I did something fun yesterday. I took a trip down to Weston, West Virginia, and I went to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
How'd that go?
It was awesome. I didn't do a paranormal investigation. It was me and my lady's anniversary, and we wanted to do the daytime paranormal tour. And highly recommend to anyone who wants to go. It was super affordable. It was like $35 a person, and the tour was an hour and a half long. And you got to go to some places that you don't normally see. So it was fun. Our tour guide Shay, he was very knowledgeable. I learned a lot of things other than what's shown on the TV shows and the paranormal YouTube channels, and it was very informative. And I didn't realize that Walter Freeman, the man known for lobotomies actually performed hundreds of lobotomies at Trans-Allegheny.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did not realize that.
I didn't know that either.
I thought next spooky season, our podcast goes on a paranormal hunt somewhere, and then that's what our spooky season is.
No one laughs at me screeching the whole time. That's my only condition.
I think that would be fun. That would be fun to do next year.
I would love to.
Now, personally, but
I would love to take you guys on that. I mean, I'm not too far.
That would actually be kind of fun. I would be terrified, but it would be fun.
I would do it.
What if we did some sessions at the library? Do you guys ever feel anything?
Yeah! Actually, yes. There's like a lot of us think that we see, it's like a man.
I've never actually like seen anything. I just
me and my mom
know it's
both
there.
have. But like the other day, I was here with my kids on a Sunday, and we were closed, and I had all the lights turned off because I just came in to feed the axolotls, and the kids were playing, and I heard a door shut, and I messaged Mallory, and I was like, "There's somebody here," because I thought if somebody's like in this library that's not supposed to be, and I'm getting ready to die, I would like her to know that that's going to happen. So like I walk around the library and I go and look. I look in every room. I open every door. I open all the bathrooms. I go look underneath desks and everything. Go out in the meeting rooms and look. Like that's not even where I heard the door, but I went ahead and looked because I thought, if somebody's here and they ran in there while I was in the back looking here, couldn't find anything. But I heard it sounded like my mom's door in the back of her office shutting.
Oh,
that's what I thought I heard.
Oof.
And it was loud because I was like, what the heck? And then we've heard a few things, but like other than that and the door shutting, that's all I've experienced here. But there are times like I'm in here and I'm like completely fine with all the lights off, no big deal. And there's other times I'm like, oh, this is creepy. There's something in here.
I need one light.
Yeah, this is turn the sun.
Well,
I'm not usually very uncomfortable in the library, but
we can definitely bring down some gear.
I don't really ever see things.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know. What's that podcast? The Wild and Weird, West Virginia?
Yeah.
They investigated the Ravenswood Library and they found stuff there.
Yeah.
No. See, I always find libraries are. See, now Zach, he's being haunted because everything's out of focus. I always find libraries do have some type of energy. They are very liminal spaces, just like hotels. People spend time there, but they're in and out. A lot of transient energies in between these spaces. And so I do find that, libraries do hold some type of haunting in them, especially if they're like an older library. And, it's not always bad. There are, some dilapidated, libraries that are no longer open where people have snuck in. And those are the libraries I worry about. I don't like doing abandoned places as much as I used to, because when I was a miscreant and I would just, there's an abandoned building, let's go check it out. It's definitely not
right now.
It's definitely not the safest thing to do. And now I like doing the locations that, we have permission to go into, or if like it is an abandoned property, at least find the owner and, be like, hey, is it all right if we go in, kind of thing. Unless it's truly abandoned and in the middle of the woods, which has happened a couple of times. Recommend if you're into it, if you're not feeling the, witch house in the woods type of adventure, stay away. Stay far away. Weird things have happened.
Sounds like a plan.
And, I forgot to mention, yesterday while on the tour, it was weird to experience this during the day, but I kept seeing shadow figures while on the tour, like during the day, when our guide Shay was telling us about the lobotomies being performed there and we were in lobotomy recovery, I glanced over and I saw what looked like, this thing must have been like 7 or 8 feet tall. There was a pillar, and from behind the pillar, whatever it was, peered out and then quickly went back behind, and there was 6 of us all together. 5 of us were seated, Shay was in front of us, and no one was over by this pillar. And then we went up a couple of floors, and I looked down the hallway. I was taking all types of photos, digital, film. I was trying to just, capture as much as I could while I was there. And I swear, I kept seeing just very quick things moving. And it wasn't anything that was coming from outside in. This was inside the building, not 10, 15 feet away from us, just quick moving things that couldn't be explained. Because I tried recreating a couple of them. We're on the tour, so I didn't want to take away from other people's time. But it was just very strange to see like these translucent shadow figures just seeing what we were doing. And I believe some of them were kids because we were in some children wards here and there throughout the tour. And it was just very strange. Some of them were very short and below where the window light was coming in. So it couldn't have been something outside causing this shadow. This was below the window sill or in between large wall spaces, and no outside light coming in and hitting those spaces. It was very, very strange.
Was this all like out of the corner of your eye? Did you get,
no.
Or did you get like direct?
No, this was direct vision.
Direct? See, I've seen bunches of stuff out of the corner of my eye, but it's always like, it's stuff out of the corner of your eye. I don't trust it at all.
Yes, so...
But actually, like, just standing there looking at something and seeing something happen.
Yeah, because, kind
of wild.
Shay was in front of us for the tour, for, him explaining, what areas we were in, what rooms we were in. And so I always had this direct line of sight of him and what was going on behind him. And a lot of this stuff happened behind him. And we were running a device while we were there, and he was so kind. I did bring some pieces of gear with me, and he let me, while we were at some investigation spots, bring out the gear. But I did run a device the entire time while we were, taking the tour. And one of the words that came through was scratch. And then a little bit later, the word guide came through.
Oh.
And Shay had started saying, he was mid speech about a certain area we were. He was like, hold on, guys. And he had like a Gatorade bottle that he like was holding on to with both hands for most of the tour. He would hold on with one and then be kind of, active with the other one, explaining things, like pointing with the other hand. And he tried his best not to, make sure that his hands were nowhere near his body, no like itching of the arms, anything like that. And he was very good about that. And then during one of the speeches that he was giving, he said, hold on, guys, this kind of hurts. And he lifts up his shirt, and like on the right side of his abdominal area, there was a scratch on his body that he says that he's like, there's no way that I did this. And he said he's been scratched multiple times, but you guys, I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me turn down the brightness here. Right there, he had like a pretty big scratch mark, very, very red, while on the tour.
Huh.
So, it was pretty high up. I think we would have noticed if he was like itching like right around here. Because if you itch your belly or something, it's a little bit lower. That was very high up.
Yeah,
you can do like the full monkey thing to actually get that spot. That's weird, especially with the words that came through.
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. And he says that he's been used to it. He said that he got scratched 25 days in a row, and after 25 he just kind of stopped counting. But he said he hadn't been scratched in a while. So I don't know. It's very, very, very weird.
That's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. Is this a place you'd like to actually be able to investigate, or do they not do that stuff?
No.
I imagine they would let you. Is it just expensive?
It is very expensive. So it's $1,500 plus a couple $100. If you don't have insurance, they provide insurance for a couple $100. So it's about a $1,800 investigation.
Yeah, not chump change.
No. So
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So this is one thing that I'm trying to make more aware in smaller communities in West Virginia specifically, and in Pennsylvania. Just all over. If there is a historic building in your hometown, no matter what the size is, there is opportunities there for, potential income and revenue for that area. And, find a building that could potentially be haunted. Do research on it. See if there's any deaths, whether it's like a murder, unexplained, anything of the sort, or maybe something tragic happened there. Do the research behind it and have a team come in, preferably ours, and let us prove that, there is some paranormal activity behind it, and open it up as a location for investigators to come in. That way, it's a tourist attraction. We've seen great success with the old hospital on College Hill in Williamson, West Virginia, Greene County Historical Society in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. These locations are, they could be opened up as museums. You could do photography tours there, historical daytime tours, paranormal tours, and I think it's a great way for our communities, especially in our state, to help, bring some outside income, maybe bring people from all over the world to a place that they never thought that they would visit. And it's because there's such a big interest in the paranormal. There's so many people who believe in the other world that's not just religious based. And I think that there's opportunities missed. And so I've been trying to advocate for these locations to start popping up more, especially in our state. We have such a rich history, and I don't know. I think the opportunity's there. We just need to help people find the opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the last hanging in West Virginia, and then he murdered the Post family, which I think that house is still here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I don't remember which house it is, but it's over like in the Avenues, I think, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I don't remember the show that it was, but
I remember that because people were like, oh my God.
Yeah, they came to us to do like all of they had to, all the paperwork to fill it out to be on TV and everything like that. So they faxed it through us, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder what show that is.
I bet that would be a good place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up and see, because
now I got a question.
It would be a cool. Oh, go ahead.
No, you shush.
Rude.
Okay, so you were talking about like investigating places and yada yada yada. Now, if you want, like, say, like how I have things in my house, like I know there's something in there. I don't know what it is. It doesn't bother me for the most part. I honestly am half convinced it's the ghost of our cat.
No.
Yeah, we had a cat that we loved, and we got him cremated. And he sits like on our shelf in our front room now. And like most of the things that happen is things getting knocked off shelves, which seems very cat-like.
Very cat-like behavior.
It really truly is. Now, if you wanted to investigate your own home, what would you suggest someone do that? Like, what would you need to do that? You think?
That's a good question.
Well, I know that for novice investigators, investing in equipment like the REM pod or the Mel meter, which are both EMF-based devices. And they're a little expensive. Like, the Mel meter is like $200. The REM pod's like $190. My best recommendation is to get a EMF detector. You can get one off of Amazon for like $20 or $30. Test it out whenever you get it. Certain things will make it go off. Don't have it too close to a cell phone, or don't make it, keep it away from TV and anything electric. Like, don't go too close to where there's heavy EMF from electrical wires and things like that. Center of the room on a coffee table. And another piece of gear that I would get is some dowsing rods, and try to communicate through spirits using dowsing rods. They believe that spirits can manipulate the rods. Typically, when we do it, we have both rods point to the right for yes and cross for no. Or if they don't know, just swing both rods wide open in the opposite direction. And the last thing I would say is, get a digital recorder. Record some audio, play that evidence back. Audio recorders aren't crazy expensive. You can pick them up at Target, Walmart, anything like that. I prefer the ones that have the USB where it pops out and you can just plug it right into your computer, so you can go back and, offload that memory card, and then you can review that footage for as much as you want. The other affordable devices, it's about $80. You can get a Spirit Box, and a Spirit Box, shifts through radio frequencies at such a fast rate. It says that, people believe that spirits can manipulate the white noise and have their voice come through, whether it's just a single word or multiple words over multiple sweeps. And, you can do a Spirit Box session. So I would say do that.
I'm just curious because, like, not only did the previous owner of my house pass away, but the owner previous to that one did a lot of spell work and stuff like that. She's pagan. She's still alive, but there was some very, very high tension in that house. Like, it was not a happy house. And when we moved in, we found like bottles of hair and teeth. And so like, it seemed like she was more into the darker kind of spell work, which, no judgment if that's what you want to do. But, and like, my kids have seen certain things in that house, and my cats have acted weird a few times in that house. And like, with the things getting knocked over. And my husband, who is like super like skeptical about everything, he's like, no. It's like, you need to stop because you are instigating crap in this house. And I'm like, I'm really not. I'm not doing anything. That's a lie. I'm an instigator.
So it depends on the type of feelings that you get in that house. And working the craft, there's light work and there's dark work. Oh, so just because there's hair and teeth doesn't necessarily mean that they were performing dark art magic.
I mean, probably not. And I know the woman, like, and she's not like someone who would do that. But I also know the situation that she was in when she lived in that house. And I would not be surprised if she had tried to hex certain people.
Hex the X.
I mean, like, it was bad. And so, like, I could see her doing something to kind of like try to combat that wasn't necessarily good.
Don't practice dark magic, people. Only light magic. But
I think the only time
do what you do. Just
you do what you want. Just live your life.
just know that if you practice dark magic, whatever you put on somebody, you get it back tenfold.
Live your lives, guys.
Ariel's like, YOLO.
Okay.
Take advice from Ariel. It's a bad idea.
It actually looks like that family was not at the post-green like murder house.
No,
they lived in the avenues, but that murder took place over on Grass Lick. So they had the dead files come on because I don't know, they were being terrorized by what like the dead files said was a demon and also a psychic vampire who was threatening to suck the life out of their family.
Psychic vampires are legit, and I know a few of them. And
yeah, but that was I do remember they came in and all of that stuff. So I did know that family.
I do gotta say, I hate when everybody thinks everything's a demon.
Yeah.
Everything's a damn demon nowadays. Everything, and it's so annoying. Why can't it just be a dark entity? Like not everything is a demon, and it's so, especially paranormal YouTubers. I was gonna say, or menaces like us.
Demons get the clicks, man.
Demons do get clicks, but when every paranormal YouTube channel is like, the night a demon attacked me, my demonic encounter at so-and-so, a demon scratched me, and the night we captured a demon on camera, and then you watch the episodes, and guess what? There's no damn demon. It's just people
feel like
getting freaked out by weird responses on devices.
So much worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's a demon there, it ain't gonna just scratch you.
No.
Like,
and you're not gonna be posting it on YouTube unless something like, unless you capture some truly terrifying evidence. I don't want to click on your video, because all these videos are the same thing. They Photoshop in some weird looking creature, and then there's a red arrow pointing in the back, and then I stopped watching a lot of paranormal YouTube channels for that reason. The only one that I'm really a fan of right now is the Planet Weird channel, and it's the group who did Hellier, which is a very crazy case. I may have talked to you guys about it last time. It's about the season 1 starts off with the Kentucky Mind Goblins, weird story there.
I love the name of that.
Me too.
I want to be a mind goblin.
I don't think you talked about this last time, because I would have remembered Kentucky Mind Goblins.
Okay, so
I love that.
So do yourselves a favor. It's called Hellier, Hell-I-E-R, and Greg Newkirk. Man, it's probably been like eight years or so now, because it's been out for a little while. He gets this weird, strange email from a guy in Kentucky, and he's living in Canada at the time with his wife, and he's basically describing these little creatures coming out and terrorizing his home. And the guy kind of sends Greg a novel of what's happening, contacts him a couple of times, and then all of a sudden he falls off the face of the earth. The guy who, yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that is it. That is exactly it. And
that's a big no.
So they finally make it down to Kentucky to find this guy who had contacted him, and no one knows who he is. No one's ever heard of this name. It's like he never existed. And so they're basically trying to figure out what happened to this guy, and they are trying to figure out if the mind goblins had anything else to do with it. Fast forward a year or two, and season 2 starts. Now they're looking for they're on the search for Injured Cold. They probably had one of the best interviews with Tanya Derenberger, Woodrow Derenberger's daughter, like the cold contactees. Unfortunately, Tanya passed away, I believe, this year. But they go to Point Pleasant, they go to the TNT domes, and they do a God Helmet Estes method session, which is crazy. So Dana's wearing this thing called a God Helmet, which helps amplify brainwaves. And then Connor, he is listening to the spirit box blindfolded, and they're sitting back to back. And Dana ends up having a conversation with what seems like an extraterrestrial. And then they get Alan Greenfield involved, who wrote Secret Cipher of the Euphonauts, and they're trying to figure out if the people working on Hellier, Greg, Dana, Carl, and Connor, and Tyler, are going through some type of initiation process in the magical community. And it is one of the strangest real documentary series of the paranormal out there. I'm friends with Tyler Strand. He was in Morgantown last week and asked if I was going to be there. Unfortunately, I was out doing something else. But Carl Pfeiffer, I've met all of them. They're super nice people. But Carl Pfeiffer, who's the director of photography, and he does everything. I like DMing him sometimes. I ask him questions about like gear he's using and color grading. But one of the craziest cases. Watch the trailers before starting the series. Season 1, absolutely nuts. Season 2 gets even stranger. And this is like real boots on the ground investigating. This isn't like, we're going to go to this location and here's a demon behind us. No, they are legit boots on the ground running. Also, they have a new documentary out. It's just a feature length. It's about an hour and a half long. It's called The Unbinding, and it has to do with one of the haunted objects in their traveling museum of the paranormal. Highly recommend watching that. Watch the trailer and watch the documentary because it's only an hour and a half long. So check that out.
Those pictures looked terrifying, so I'm out. But good
no.
recommendation.
No, I had to check this out. It's spooky season. I've been wanting to watch some stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Better than half the movies I've been seeing recently.
Yeah, watch The Unbinding. The Hellier series, you'll have to, watch that over multiple days. But if, you want to get in the mood, definitely watch The Unbinding. It's on Amazon Prime.
I have to check it out, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer now, and it's got some stuff in it.
Oh, dude, it gets wild.
They actually got some really nice shots in here, too.
Yeah, Carl Pfeiffer.
Good use of bokeh.
Carl Pfeiffer, one hell of director of photography, filmmaker. So, shout out Carl Pfeiffer.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. You guys seem like the energy has been sucked out of you.
I was going to ask, so, have you ever been over to Cincinnati to do any investigations over there?
I have not yet. I have not made my way over there yet.
It would be a good place to go. There's a ton of older buildings there. It's kind of a creepy place in general. I actually used to work at the observatory there, and I think it's one of the oldest buildings, like still standing buildings in the area, because it was made. Oh man, what was it? 1845, something like that.
Is it still open?
It's still open. Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
But they give like a little. I know that there's been some like sort of haunting stories or ghost story type stuff happening there, because one of the guys who works there, John Ventry, he gives a tour and talks about a lot of this stuff. And I mean, it's got it's got a decent amount of history there, so it's a pretty cool place. It's small though. It'd be a cool place to go if you got a chance to investigate it. I don't think that they would be too opposed to it if you.
This place looks amazing.
It's very cool. Yeah, if you ever want to go there, just let me know and I'll contact him. I know everybody who works there, obviously.
Give me all the deets. Hook me up. Let's make something happen. I will go there this November.
Yeah, I'll get you all their information and tell them tell them about you guys. Because it'd be a cool place to go. I'd love to see if there's anything there.
This whole
anything creepy
this
happening.
whole place looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. The basement of the main building, I remember distinctly being weird and creepy because I used to work down there a bunch.
Yeah, it looks like a small little campus.
It's sort of got that vibe, yeah. It's got the 2 main buildings. One has the the Mertz and Mahler telescope, and the other one is the I can't remember what the big white one's called. But the Mertz and Mahler is the oldest professional telescope in the entire United States. So,
oh my god,
very cool place.
Oh.
And they'll probably let you look through the telescopes while you're there, which is always
That'd
fun.
be crazy.
It is. That's it's really cool.
Using the telescopes was
like,
the best part.
I remember going there and looking through them. You had that thing that one night, and I saw the owl constellation thingy.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, Zach, if you can hook this up, I would absolutely love to do it. It looks like
I'll contact them.
It looks like they do like nighttime tours, but not like nighttime investigations. So,
to my knowledge, there has not been an investigation there, but they do nighttime tours there a lot.
I would obviously. I'm down. I would love to go. So
yeah, totally. I mean, it's as close-ish to you guys, so a few hours away.
Get a hotel room, go do an investigation. If I want to know if anyone has had any experiences there. Because it's always fun to investigate a location that's never been investigated. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Mm-hmm. It would be cool, yeah. Like I said, there's some ghost stories there. I know John's been around there for like, I don't know, 1 million years, and he's got several, at least that people have reported to him.
Well, yeah, man. I'm very interested. And hook me up. I would love to go.
Totally.
I saw Ariel being bored looking. Were you eating your microphone?
I was. It was that intrusive thought.
Oh, no,
just ignore that. I was up at 5:30 yesterday, and I went to a library conference, and I had to people all day. So, like, today I'm just incredibly drained, and I need, like, a good 6 weeks to recoup from that. I'm not a people person.
You need a good cleansing and a venti iced coffee.
There you
yes.
go.
Oh, my God. That sounds so good. I can't burn sage in my house because my husband's allergic.
He's allergic to a lot of stuff.
Right? It sounds like he's the demon.
Just open the door for him. Yeah.
Get out. Go on. Go on now. Get.
Do we have any other thoughts or experiences or book recommendations as of late?
The ones that I recommended probably should check out. Also, there's Haunted Hills and Hollows by Kevin Paul. There's a series. I think he has 2 out. He's working on his 3rd publication. But Haunted Hills and Hollows by Kevin Paul. Very, very interesting reads about the southwestern PA area. So I definitely recommend that. I just saw Kevin at a paranormal expo last weekend. He had teased his 3rd book being like in the works coming out. So...
Oh, that's today. Yeah, that is Friday the 13th, isn't it? Man, what a good day to bring in for Friday the 13th. Yeah. I'll keep my eyes open today, see if there's anything spooky happening.
I hope a door slams on you.
Did he not realize we planned that?
Something, yeah.
No,
I don't realize what you guys do. You don't tell me anything.
Me and Mallory are the only ones.
I mean, we would have been recording either way. Yeah, we would have been recording either way, but I mean, why not? It's all like Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is just a good one to have. Yeah.
So, okay, I think maybe like final thoughts. I think those all sounded fairly good. I likely won't read a lot of them.
Oh, come on now.
Or watch them.
I'll read them and let you know.
Maybe I'll let her read some of them to me.
Yeah, anytime she finds a scary book, she'll tag me in it, and she's like, you need to read this because I want to know what happens. Yeah. But she won't read it.
Yeah.
I know what I am, okay? I own it.
I'm a baby.
Just give me the brief synopsis of how scary it was.
It all sounded really interesting. Basically, yeah, that's like she reads all these really creepy books and she's like, I know you're not going to read it, so I'll just tell you. And I'm like, good.
That is nice that I can do that because I'm like, I've always want to be like, you'll never guess what just happened.
Yeah.
And
I won't ever guess.
You should read the book Hex by Thomas, what is his name? Thomas Old Huvelt, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you should read that one. That one's about a witch that haunts a town.
It sounded really creepy, and it had a really cool premise. And all the time, every time she would tell me something that was happening, I was like, these people are
It's
the
insane.
worst.
It's
are
a
the
crazy,
worst people.
crazy book.
There's a reason they all die. Like, it's...
Don't be ruining.
No, I mean, like, it's like a horror movie, you know? Like, we're gonna go investigate this noise in the dark in the middle of the woods. Like, you're gonna die. Like, that's just kind of how it is.
And you wouldn't? And you wouldn't
Me?
go?
No.
She's like, other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going the other way.
Yeah, our tour guide yesterday was just like, and who wants to go first? And I was just like, all right, let's go.
I'm going.
I don't know. It depends on the day. There's days where I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then there's other days where I'm like,
See, it's kind of weird. I'm, like, at home. I don't care. I sleep with, like, my arms and feet off the bed. Like, if you're going to get me, get me. I don't care, whatever. But out and about places, no. You're not getting me where I'm not ready. Like, that's... If I'm going out on my terms, okay? Like,
it's going to be bundled up in my bed under the covers.
Yeah, right? Like, I'm going to be happy about it.
Dude, the scariest thing that ever happened to me was when I was in my bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was...
Terrifying.
It got pushed, yeah.
Yeah, my bed got
Ooh.
lifted up.
What?
Yeah, it was very scary. Yeah, like, okay, so I had this thing that was, like, in my house, and I didn't sleep in my bed for a long time. I would sleep on the couch, and I had a 1-year-old that slept with me because, like, I was a single mom. And I finally got to the point where I was fed up because my back was killing me sleeping on the couch. So I went to my bed, and I went and laid down, and I got my son to sleep. And you could feel my bed shake ever so slightly. And I was like, are you serious? You need to quit. And something hit my bed at the end, like in between my feet. Like I sleep on my stomach, so my feet, like, are kind of like spread. And
Right.
it hit in between my feet so hard, it lifted up the end of my mattress.
Whoa.
And I sat up and I was like, you know what? You can have it. And I got my son and I went down and I slept on the couch for 3 more months before I moved out.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it was scary.
Creepy stuff.
I wouldn't pack up my stuff in my room unless somebody was in that room with me.
Wow.
It was awful.
I love hearing stories like that. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but that's a crazy experience.
Well, I mean, it really was. Like prior to that, I had my hair pulled and my clothes tugged on and things like I could feel them follow me down the hallway. Like, this is the apartment that I lived in with the mirror at the top of the steps.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just,
That was
awful.
a weird apartment, honestly.
Some places hold...
It was a weird apartment. I didn't like that.
Some places hold weird energy like that. My best advice, move out.
I did, yeah.
She was
As
like,
soon as I got the money for it, I was
there
like,
long.
I'm gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember putting my son in a stroller at like 1 o'clock in the morning and leaving my house and walking through town because I didn't want to be in my house.
Oof.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's a haunting.
Yeah, my roommate, she just stayed shut up in her room and would not leave her room unless she had to leave to go to work. It was awful.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to wrap things up. That's like one of the spookiest things I've heard in a while.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, so our next episode, Ariel and I are bringing you A Nightmare Before Christmas with Wintertime Legends of Horror. So no one laugh when I'm cowering in the corner next episode. Okay? Then we'll be heading into my nonfiction pick, which is Wicked Boy by Kate Summerscale. And that's a true crime about 1 or 2 young boys who supposedly murder their parents? ? I haven't actually read it yet, so that'll be kind of fun. I'm excited to read that one. And then we're going to hop into another book chat. So y'all better get your TBRs cleared out a little before we do that, because we'll be bringing you some more books to add. Not sorry.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you, Danny, for coming on again. We are so glad to have you back. It's always a fun time.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's time for us to sign off, but before we cross to the other side, please read my mirror writing. It says, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you.